your Stutz, I'd imagine that has to put some wind in your sails going up against a team that you probably know a little too well in San Diego.
Well, it was a tough start, so getting 2 wins feels really good, Jay, and it's a good thing for the guys. I mean, they've worked hard. I mean, I don't think, we've been great, but I certainly don't think our play has been indicative of the 0-6 start or whatever the heck it was. It takes you 6 games to get a win. I mean, come on, like that's crazy, but it is what it is. And you know what, the guys could have very easily just rolled over, but they've battled hard, and for the most part, they've given a great effort. It's just it hasn't worked out. Now, having said that, we've got some good head-to-head matchups. One was the other night against San Jose. Now we've got 3 in a row against San Diego, and that's where you can really make a difference and get yourselves back into the hunt, and that's what we're aiming to do. So you got a Friday night in San Diego, a tough building to play in. Fans are very vocal. They get into it. It's a tough rink to play in, a little bit dark, a little bit dingy. They always come out strong. Good forecheck right off the opening shift, and it doesn't seem to let up. So I'm interested to see, Jay, just how some of our newer guys that haven't experienced this, how they react to it. Usually, you go into it and say, okay, just get through the first 10 minutes. But you know what? You've seen yourself when you got some young guys, some rookies that have never experienced it, they're like wide-eyed and go, wait a minute, what's going on here? This is a whole different animal. It's almost like a playoff fever here right in the regular season. So I think it's a good experience for us. I can't wait. So let's go.
Are there any? I was actually just thinking that. Is there any tips or tricks you give? Because to the older guys, they know what to expect rolling into San Diego, and I'm sure for San Diego, they probably know what to expect coming to Citizens Business Bank Arena. But probably on your bullet points, what are the top 2 that you give some of these younger players just to maybe get them to settle down a little bit? Because at the end of the day, this is a team that you saw twice in the preseason, and you might have seen, some of these guys might have seen in NHL preseason. So it's same opponents, maybe just a different atmosphere.
Well, I mean, that's a good point. And, we made mention of it this morning in the video session that, we have played these guys, maybe not in this rink per se yet, but we saw them in Anaheim/Kings, Anaheim, then again, San Diego in Anaheim. We played them at home. So it's not totally unfamiliar, but still you haven't got into that building where there's some good character. And we touched on it this morning in video. With a quick start, we want to make sure that we match that intensity right from the get-go. We will probably start 5 veteran players on that first shift to kind of, take on that pressure that we expect after the national anthem's over and done with and that puck drops. But you know what? There's no other way to do it than live it and experience it. I mean, that's what you got to do. You got to get into those battles and figure out how you just block out, and it just becomes white noise in the background, and it's no different than any other rink. But it's easy for me to say that from here. It's a little bit more difficult when those guys might be a little bit overwhelmed. So again, it's an experience that I think that'll make them better. It'll help them progress, mature as players. And the older guys, I mean, they can even get caught up in it. They got to be ready. And they've got to set the example here tonight for our younger players and show them what this rivalry is all about.